So as you see, there are a lot of fintech systems that we are using today. We recognize these by apps, but there are a lot of things happening under the apps, whether there is a regulatory, there is fraud, there is risk management, there is interfaces, integrations. So a lot of things happening. And because of the speed requirement, it starts to get small cracks into these systems. And before these cracks become bigger, I come into picture. I make sure that those gaps doesn't widen. I make sure that these gaps are addressed at the start itself, because all these systems, fintech system, don't fall with a loud noise. They silently fail. And we want to identify those silent signals and make sure that system can scale and system do not fail. So that's what I do.
I think to make it simpler for consumer, there's a lot of complexity which is happening in background. Who owns the trust, Krishna?
So as I said, when we started, there are lots of integrations, lots of things happening. For a consumer, there is only one app, as you said. There are certain number of transactions, financial transactions you can do. Yeah. And behind the scene, there might be multiple entities. Now, what happens is whenever there is a, as I was telling this, silently failure. So there are frictions happening. So sometimes the risk engine doesn't work. Sometimes the fraud check doesn't work as expected. Still, the transaction goes on. Sometimes it is catastrophic that the transaction gets aborted. And then in that case, sometimes the money is gone from the bank. So that's where the consumer feels the heat. And that's where consumer tries to connect to the platform first. And then what happens is platform may divert them to bank or maybe PSP and so on and so forth. If you find your transaction failed in certain app, next time you will think twice, thrice, whether I should be doing purchase from that app or I should go for another app. Yeah, so that loses customer, that is losing trust. When in fintech, if the transaction take a fraction of a second more, but that gives me confidence and it doesn't fail, that's something that we need to find the right balance.
We are working with startup founders today, right? Helping them on fintech. And in my work with the startups also, I see a lot of startups now coming building on AI, right? And the focus is the AI to build something on AI quick. So from your work, what message would you like to give to the startup founders who are moving towards product market fit or product market fit to scaling in fintech world, right? And from your knowledge of fintech plus AI, agentic AI, what they should consider while they are building their product?
The way these founders are doing, some founders are exceedingly smart and they can build systems that can sustain. Some founders find it difficult how to fit, as you said, product market fit. I don't understand that completely because there are so many nuances into product market fit. So what is your idea about, what is founder's idea about a certain product that they want to build? It's just not for sake of AI. So my cup of tea or my thought process is, have you built your value stream in such a way that it gives a value to the end user in a sustained manner, and you can support the application, app, the ecosystem in a sustained manner with the entities, because in today's world you cannot do everything on your own. You have to rely on all other entities. So what are your partners? Are they having similar conviction as of you, or at least they are subscribed to your idea in such a way that they can support you? If that is the case, then definitely founder should be building. Now we use AI to build the product, but again the explainability part come into picture. It's not blind, because sometimes AI is a driver that is driving your car. You are in the back seat. You don't know where it is going. Is absolutely fine because you are not driving and it is super fast. But how can you be sure that that is the destination you want to go? So that's where the whole AI conversation comes into picture. They can build it as long as they understand what is being built. And the most important is regulation. What I see when I see and meet founders, they do not understand the regulation. They do not understand the security. They need to start understanding the security, the regulation, the compliance.
Each episode of Impossible Transition podcast has a story of leadership evolution and the system they built and lived. Please let us know which system would you like us to cover in next podcast. We would love to build it. Subscribe so you never miss an episode and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep making impossible transition.